So in the last year, my drawings went from this to this, and it's in large part due to exercises recommended from pros like Modern Day James, Peter Hahn, Artwad, Proco, Tom Fox Draws, Rembert Montalд, Athoro, Zeph Draws, the list goes on, and I summarized all these exercises in this video here. Now, even back in January, I knew that a 20-minute video wasn't enough to cover all these amazing exercises in depth, so I made an offer. You give me $20. I give you a 30-page book with a video companion by April. 40 people took me up on this offer, and I quickly realized it was not that simple, because fast forward to April, I had barely gotten 20 pages done. Fast forward to July, I'd gotten 60 pages done. The book was bigger than I promised, and it wasn't even close to being done. And 9 months later, today, I've actually refunded hundreds of dollars to the customer because I didn't make a video series. The book took way longer than I expected. And to put a cherry on top of all that, the book I promised you could buy for months, the book I made an email list for, isn't actually even for sale. Because it's free, and you can actually download all 76 pages of it right now with the link in the description. Now, the obvious question you might have right now is, why is it free? At least that's the question my parents asked after seeing how many hundreds of hours I put into the book, how many hundreds of drawings I made. And the short answer that I realized throughout this project is that I'm still a student. And I'm going to learn so much more in the coming years that in a couple years, I'll look back on this book and go, I could have done that better. And knowing that I didn't want to price a book at the level of pros like Peter Hahn's books, Tom Fox Draws books, it didn't feel right to you to suggest that they're on the same level. And then if I'm going to price lower, it's like, in this economy, bro, just give it for free, because I'm not trying to shill you out of $5 if it's not going to make a difference to your life or mine. So I'm taking this book as an experiment. I'm giving it out for free, and I'd love for you to look at it, read it, study from it, and let me know what helps and what doesn't, so that maybe in a few years when I am cracked and I can charge for a book that I can actually print, then it'll be a really solid, good book that everyone can learn from. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not welcome to donate. The book is available on Gumroad, and if you feel so inclined, I will not scoff at however many dollars you want to throw my way for the book. But you're by no means obligated to, and I want this book to be in the hands of as many people as possible. I want it to help you like all these exercises and masters have helped me. I feel like a lot of the art community is built on free teachings from YouTube. So if I can throw my hat in the pile, I'd be happy to do so. But the follow-up question you might have is, what does this book do for you? What does this book not do for you? What should I expect, and how should I study from it? So like the video, the book has been broken down into different levels of exercise. But before getting into the content, I wanted to answer some major questions about how you should study from this book, what it teaches you, and most importantly, what it doesn't teach you. Because in making this, I learned a lot about art, and I learned that form and construction is such an important part of drawing, but it's not the only part, because in another video right here, I realized that if you don't know how to see things properly, it doesn't really matter if you're building form on top of it. So I mentioned this in the intro here, and I also show you guys a graph of how you should practice depending on your skill level. So if you're a beginner, you should spend much more time in the early levels. And if you're an intermediate like me, you should spend much more time in the middle levels 2 and 3, so that you really build comfort with the forms. Whereas once you become more advanced, you should spend most of your time creating and combining these ideas intuitively on the imagination level. Following this, I talked about the idea of scaffolding and essentially teaching yourself based on making your exercise harder or easier depending on your comfort with it. And then finally, we get into the actual book, where every level has been separated to tell you what they're about. So level 1 is about building your mechanical fluency, because you can't draw well until your hand listens to your brain. And that's what this level is about. Now, the second level, basic forms, covers all that you need to know about form rotation, about the box, as you will hear said time and time again in this book. And understanding how it ties into the later levels, which would be form manipulation. Now, throughout this book, I've thrown in some homework tasks that you can do to test whether you know the subject material or not. For example, this rotation page where you get to see if you can rotate a volume, and I show the answers as well. And I've also thrown in some extra variations to the exercises. For example, when we're looking at exercise 12, stack and queue, you can see that I explain the exercise and I show sort of what it means. And I also reference some artists I learned it from. But I also show you a variation of the exercise you can do to build more comfort with it. So throughout the book, there's variations, challenges, exercises, and examples. And another reason I wanted to make it free is because I want you to feel free to share this to whoever. Use it as a resource, share certain pages from it. I put a watermark on every page so that if it does show up on Pinterest or Instagram, then at least people know where to find more information about it. The whole book is a compilation of exercises from pros who are much better than me. So don't make the mistake of thinking this is the end all be all. This is just a springboard for you to start doing your own research in your artistic journey. But I hope this helps you because it includes a lot of the examples I wish I had when I was trying to understand these topics. From examples like subtractions, how do you carve out of forms? How do you understand the way that a sphere carves out of a cylinder? I tried to include a lot of examples so that you feel comfortable experimenting, but also referencing, because that's a huge part of it. I'm going to stop yapping, guys. That's the book. Take a look at it if you want to. Feel free to let me know what you liked, what you didn't. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for this past year. It's been a whirlwind. I am not the most organized person, so I apologize for anybody who wanted this book in 3 months. I apologize for everybody who's still waiting on their giveaway gifts from both the 50K and the 100K. I apologize for people who try to text me or message me because I don't respond nearly fast enough. But thank you for all of your continued support. The fact that I'm able to do this and put it out for free is only because you guys watch and interact, subscribe, and like. And that means I can keep making the quality education that I wish I had access to. And you keep getting it for free because the sponsors pay for it. So thank you. Keep watching the sponsorship stuff because that lets both of us get stuff for free. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. If you're watching this when it came out, then I'll be at Lightbox for the weekend. Come say hi if you see me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. We got some bangers coming up, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, enjoy the book. It's finally done. Bye.